Welcome to the Inner Champions podcast. Would you like to promote your business so the world can find you? Or would you like to become a sponsor of the podcast? If so, please contact us on Instagram at Inner Champions Podcast. Lastly, follow our current sponsor at The Real Talk with Jordyn.
Hey everyone, how's it going? If you could do me a huge favor and follow my sponsor, The Real Talk with Jordyn. All her social media platforms will be listed below in the description. Thank you for listening to the Inner Champions podcast. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Inner Champions podcast on a very special edition bonus episode. Today's bonus episode, we are going to be discussing the reason why I believe the Indiana Fever are continuing to win games. People continue to say they should not win. And again, this is all opinion based. This is all about me just throwing my 2 cents of why I think they are going to continue to do what they're doing and, build off what they're doing. We'll dive into it right away. First things first, why they are doing what they're doing is they now have a leader and a coach that believes in what they want to accomplish. They have attainable goals, and they are exceeding these attainable goals because all parties involved are trusting, all parties involved are believing, all parties involved are, basically telling their players they can run through a wall. We don't care who we face. We don't care how big, how small, how fast, how tough our opponents are. We are better. The Fever, from what I've seen in recent games, just have a better mindset. And the biggest thing that I've seen that's visible to be seen, everybody is trying to, the same common goal is approachable. But not only that, the level of energy is there all the way around, all the way through the game, good, bad, ugly. You got 6, 7 of your people out with multitude of injuries, but that does not stop them. That does not faze them. Their biggest leader and influencer as far as, playing through anything and everything is your biggest cheerleader, is still continuing to be invested and continuing to believe in the team aspect. No matter who's up to play, she is just, pouring it on them, pouring it on their team. And then to back that up, their head coach is doing the exact same thing. The head coach is actually feeding off of this player, Caitlin Clark, as we know her. I think, and I hope she will do it one day. Caitlin Clark will be a phenomenal coach because she can just get these young women to believe through anything. She can get these young women to play through fire, walk through fire. Now, their next opponent is the Las Vegas Aces, if I remember correctly. They are no slouch of a team. They have won back-to-back championships. They have, continuing, to build and be great at what they do. But I'm telling you right now, even if the Fever don't win, they did something phenomenal. All of their stars are out. And I still think that good energy is going to continue to come. I think that, Caitlin Clark will continue to feed this team. And this goes to show you maybe on a few of my episodes where I said your superstars are out. How are we going to respond? And you only need a couple superstars, if one superstar. And keep in mind for the Fever, their superstar is not in the game, hasn't played for weeks, has suffered a major injury, and everything in between. But as their superstar does well, she, continues to, teach these young women, teach these, maybe rookies, 1 or 2 of them, how to play, to be fearless. The Fever are a team right now that, like I said earlier, they're the sleeper team. A lot of people want to, count them out. Do I think they're going to get by the Las Vegas Aces? Probably not. I think that with where the Fever's, at as far as injuries, not necessarily talking about talent here. And again, I don't know. There's a lot to be known. But if the Fever continue to play fearless, continue to play unstoppable basketball, and continue to dominate the glass defensively, I think that the Fever have a great chance for a great push. Not with this push will Caitlin Clark come back or any of the other superstars will come back, or continuing to make a name for the Indiana Fever and years to come, that they will be a championship contender. I think that, down the line within the next 2 years, potentially, if they keep the same coaching staff or at least the head coach at the helm, I think that will be right there. I think Caitlin Clark will dominate and carry her team where she needs to carry it to the next level, and they will win a championship. All the lights are bright, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. They should be talked about. I've just been seeing and continue to see a lot of hate on this team. And again, if you've never been in a situation like this before, if you've never been or been on a team in this situation before, you absolutely have no clue. And when I say when you've been on a team, I'm talking football, basketball, baseball, all sports together, tennis, whatever the case may be. You just got to know how to carry yourself. Caitlin Clark is bringing a little bit of pizzazz because of her fit checks, because of her shoes, and stuff like that. And, whatever it takes, you have to do things to, get your team to want to play, give your teams reason to want to play, and this team is not down and out, and they will continue to be relentless and continue to, let the Fever dictate what is going to happen, not what their opponent wants them to do, not what their opponent wants them to fall into. And I think that's the beautiful thing about sports is, there's a lot could go right, there's a lot that could go wrong, but that there's a lot that they could play through and they could fix and, just destroy teams. And I wish them the absolute best. I'm sitting back here going, this is what a championship style team looks like. This is the championship mindset. So any of you that want that championship style right now, that championship effort, that championship intensity, that togetherness, watch some Indiana Fever games. Watch them in this next playoff series and see what they do. See how they communicate on the court. See how they communicate on the bench, off the bench, how their coaches talk to each other. And the energy level that this team brings is phenomenal. And maybe if some of you out there will watch just the energy level on how they, present themselves. And again, so many people for so many years used to tell me that, all this energy is just, you're cocky, you're this, you're that, your teams are too hyped up. No, it's a psychological thing. There is a point in, especially in sports, when you're trying to put yourself at the next level to where your team or your program needs to be or you want them to be. It's psychological. It's the mental game. I go into it in a few weeks strictly talking about how to compete mentally, how to be stronger than your opponent mentally. And so many teams, so many programs, so many schools forget about the mental game. I don't ever hear it talked about. And all my teams, I make it a precedence to talk about the mental game, how important the mental game is, what the mental game does for you, and how it can benefit you. And I strongly believe that, 75% of what the Fever are doing and going through is the mental stage of the game. They are locked in mentally. They are loving each other. They're believing in each other. They're playing off of each other. They're feeding off of each other. And it just all boils down to the one common goal of just, outright dominating, outright just playing hard, just being relentless, just going out there with that purpose to play, why they want to play. They have a vision to want to play, and everything else. And at the end of the day, of course, I wish nothing but the Fever, the greatest success ever. However this season ends, they're going to come back recharged. They're going to come back even more pissed off, more fearless. And I strongly believe within the next, hopefully, year to 2 years that they will have a championship. They will be championship contenders at best. But I really think that they're headed in the right direction. I'm glad that the coaching staff is up to par with the level of intensity of their players, where their players want to be. The energy level's there, the smarts are there, the rotation part is there, I think. Could be a little bit better on some aspects of the game, but again, not always going to have a perfect game. You can always strive to have a perfect game, but at the end of the day, as long as they're making the right moves when they need to make the right moves, even if you win by 1 point, so many people are judging the Fever because they won by 1 point. Granted, do I think they should have won by 10 or 20? Absolutely. That's more of what a championship team will do. They'll put the other team to sleep and just continue to build. But again, for where the Fever began to where the Fever are at now, in my opinion, is 9 times better than where the other outcome would be for them to just pack their bags and go home. Nobody's doing that. Nobody has that attitude to do that. Nobody wants that. I just think it's a beautiful thing to see, to witness, to take in, because like I said, if you've been there and you've gone through those emotions and you've gone through those long nights and practices and just the level of intensity when you play in environments like that is just bar none to what everyone wants, what everyone is dreaming for in the sports world. I just, again, think that it's just a phenomenal thing, and I wish them nothing but the best of their success, and I really hope that they can, carry that torch and continue to carry the torch as far as the torch allows them to go. And, in these situations, they pretty much control their own destiny. I know other people think that the other teams might control their own destiny, but when you're, I don't want to say the lowest team on the totem pole, because they're not. I also just found out that the Liberty got kicked out, I think, last night, which it sucks, but it's good. It gives the Fever more of a chance to just want to push even more, give them more of a reason why they're there and what they're doing it for. And I just think everybody there at the Fever have the same common goal, the same common, the reason why they're doing this for. And, I thought it was funny that a few of the girls pulled off Caitlin Clark's shoe and made her break down the huddle with her shoe, which, again, if that's what's feeding you as a shoe, great. I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was like it was probably a couple years ago. I think it was during the COVID time, during the Final Four for the college basketball playoffs for the men. On the men's side, the young man who carried out the radio, and again, he was like their, get up guy and hype guy and stuff like that. Kind of the same thing. They all fed into him. They all believe. They all bought in. Everybody, again, is buying into their top player, Caitlin Clark. Even though she's not performing on the court, she's performing on the sidelines. And the thing I think I like the most about Caitlin Clark is she's not putting it out there like that. She's not carrying that ego. She's not, overly dressing as far as like, look at me, put the cameras on me. She's very level-headed. I think that she's making this team as a whole very level-headed. I think that she is just a good balance. And this team is trying to figure out, or has figured out, the level of balance to where they are. And I think that's just the gorgeous thing out of all this. And I hope that it can go as far as it's going and continue to go. And, like I said earlier, they're controlling it. They're doing what they want to do. They are, doing what's necessary to win. And at the end of the day, as long as you do that, I think for any sport, you're going to be successful. But at the same time, is that they have the leadership to want the same goals. They have the leadership to want to win, the eager to win, putting, rolling their dice out on the table and taking risk in some situations, but it's paying off. Again, this was just a quick, episode I wanted to throw out there of everybody wants to win now, and I think that, those of you that want to win now can take notes from what the Fever are doing and just put them into your daily routine, daily lives until you get to the things that I talked about or are going to talk about in the next series. It's going to be called Success Starter Kit. I really think that you all should get behind that. It's 5 episodes. I'm going to be putting out several promos before this. And I just really hope you guys jump on the wagon and we can get something going. And yeah, thanks for listening. Appreciate you all. And that's my take on the Indiana Fever. And I hope that they will continue to do what they're doing. And maybe we can have an update. Maybe they can be in the Final Four. Maybe they can be in the top 3. I don't know. But that's my take on it. Make sure you come back in like a week. You will be opening up the Success Starter Kit episode. First intro episode will be next Tuesday. Make sure you come back for that. Make sure that you guys download, follow, and subscribe on Apple Podcast, Spotify. Also, last but not least, make sure that you follow my sponsor on all her social media platforms, The Real Talk with Jordyn. All her links will be in the description below. And thanks for listening to the Inner Champions podcast.